Now, from Southern Colorado's #1 news channel, this is KKTV 11 News This Morning.
6 a.m. now, he's accused of having sex with one of his students. Now this local teacher and coach is headed to court. What's happening today in the Anthony Robato case?
Also, police looking for a teen suspect in an overnight shooting targeting this house on the city's southwest side. We're live with details on what happened and who police are looking for.
But first, let's focus on what's happening outside. Not a whole lot right now, but by the afternoon, Sarah, that could change again, just like we saw yesterday.
That's right. We'll have a few isolated storms bubble up once again this afternoon, right on cue. Heading into the afternoon, that just kind of seems to be the trend around here lately, and that will be no exception for today. A quiet start.
Thanks very much, Sarah. 6:01 now. New from overnight. Police are searching for a teen who shot out the window of a home in southwest Colorado Springs, and someone got hurt.
11 News reporter Patrick Nelson joins us live from Florence Avenue. That's in the Stratton Meadows neighborhood where that shooting happened. Now, Patrick, police are trying to gather information right now.
Yeah, that's right, John and Stacia. Police still...
All right, good information. Patrick Nelson reporting live. Thank you.
A 1-month-old baby girl is missing. Springs police believe her father, an AWOL Army soldier, has her. They want us to keep an eye out for little Brooke Hembry and her father, Derek Hembry. He does not have legal custody, and police have a warrant for his arrest. Now, if you see them, you're asked to call police. You can call Crime Stoppers at 634-STOP.
6:03 now. A former Fountain Fort Carson teacher and coach faces 5 counts of sex assault. This afternoon is the start of his preliminary trial. Anthony Robato is charged with 3 counts of sex assault on a child, pattern of abuse, and 2 counts of sex assault on a child from a person in position of trust. Robato was arrested in June. Fountain police say Robato had sexual contact with a female student in May. 11 News will let you know how the case starts in court today.
This is the 7th day in the search for Corey Handy. Now another reported sighting in the Springs, but police come up empty-handed. He's accused of shooting at women and children in a car last Wednesday morning. The latest call came from the city's west side. Investigators tell 11 News they got an anonymous tip that this man you see right here, Corey Handy, was at a house off Ridge Road near Garden of the Gods Park last night. It's one of several reported sightings over the last few days. Police say he's dangerous and they want him off the streets. If you see him, call 911. Some Colorado stores are joining a national recall of about 60,000 pounds of ground beef. That's in your 11 call for action alert. The beef may be contaminated with E. coli. Some Colorado Sam's Club stores have contacted members who bought some of the beef recently. For more information on this recall, just head to our web channel, kktv.com. Click Find It.
The Pentagon is considering a controversial plan to overhaul military retirement pay. That has many of you talking this morning. This is our most popular story on kktv.com. The plan would save $250 billion over the next 2 decades. It would eliminate retirement at half salary for anyone who serves 20 years. Instead, they'd get a 401k style plan with government contributions. And they'd have to wait until normal retirement age to collect it. Advocates say the new system would not only save money, but would also be more fair, and it would give some benefits to those who serve less than 20 years. Right now, they walk away with nothing. Now, here's what we're hearing from you. Karen says, this makes me so angry. Why don't they reconsider the benefits and salaries of Congress? Aaron says that retirement pay is earned pay. This is outrageous. Outrageous. Now, of course, this is a far from done deal. It's the very beginning of this conversation, but it could affect many folks here in the Springs. So 11 News will continue to let you know what's happening as this discussion progresses. John?
Stacia, thank you. The president travels through the Midwest with a stop in Iowa this morning. He'll push his ideas for creating jobs. He's expected to announce new steps to boost jobs in rural areas. Texas Governor Rick Perry will host an economic roundtable just 30 minutes away from the president today. Meanwhile, Minnesota Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann heads to South Carolina to try to drum up support, and Mitt Romney is looking ahead to New Hampshire, where he'll campaign today.
6:06 now. It's becoming a blame game in Indiana as the investigation begins into what caused the stage to collapse at the state fair Saturday night. Now authorities are trying to find out, had the stage been inspected? A fair spokesman initially said the state fire marshal's office was responsible for the inspections, but later backtracked. The city of Indianapolis reportedly cannot inspect items on state property. So at this point, that question's still unanswered. The state fair is back open this morning. It reopened yesterday after a memorial ceremony to remember the 5 who died.
On a brighter note, Minnesota slugger Jim Thome is waking up as part of an elite club this morning, the 8th player to hit 600 home runs.
It happened last night against the Detroit Tigers. Take a look.
Deep to left field. This ball's high. It's deep. Number 600 for Jim Thome.
Everybody out on the field. All the Twins. Get out there.
Welcome to the 600 Club.
Looks like folks who weren't even Twins fans were excited about that. The crowd in Detroit came to its feet to give him a little applause there. Only 8 players in Major League history have hit at least 600 home runs. And at 40 years old, he's actually the oldest player to reach that milestone.
Ancient,
Ancient 40-year-old guy accomplishing that. So good for him.
It's one of those things where if you just love baseball, then you love to see those historic moments.
That kind of success. It's so
Good
true.
for him. Well, folks, do you remember the 2 Marines rescued from the Pacific Ocean after their jet crash last week? Well, we have an update on them and how they're doing this morning.
Plus, we're hearing from many of you on a story about a car crashing into a liquor store. That's because some wonder if Springs police policy should be changed. What you have to say about when sobriety tests are given. That's coming up on KKTV 11 News this morning. Rich Brandon, Casey Anthony is headed back to Orlando. This after a judge ruled she must return to serve probation for check fraud.
That came down just over an hour ago. She's been out of the public eye since a jury acquitted her of murdering her 2-year-old daughter last month. The jury's decision angered many people online and in other places, and threats were made against her life.
In other news, the Doherty siblings now face charges in a second Colorado county. Today, the trio will appear before a judge for the first time. They were advised of their charges via video. This time, they did make an appearance.
Our Kendra Potter joins us live from the Pueblo newsroom. And Kendra, the charges they face there are the same ones they face in Pueblo County,
which is first-degree assault and attempted first-degree murder.
All right, thank you, Kendra, for that. And the Doherty siblings are expected to appear again via video in Huerfano County August 22nd. Now, we asked the State Patrol and CBI why they filed the charges in 2 separate counties, but because of the gag order, they would not give us an answer. The verdict is in. Serial killer Anthony Sowell has received the death penalty for murdering 11 women, sexually abusing 5 others.
The jury recommended Sowell be sentenced to death earlier this week, and today a judge agreed. Sowell was convicted on 82 of 83 counts. His sentence will be based on aggravated murder, rape, and kidnapping charges in the deaths of 11 women whose remains were found in and around his house. The Republicans running for the White House are on the trail in Iowa today, shaking hands, pushing their plans to solve the nation's problems.
They are 1 day away from a key test vote there. Tara Merchner shows you how they hope to build support after last night's debate.
The Republicans running for the White House wasted.
And the candidates hitting the Iowa State Fair are expected to have some company. Former vice presidential candidate Sarah Palin's bus tour is back on the road. She plans to drop by today or tomorrow.
And supporters are rallying for Congressman Doug Lamborn right now. It's the latest installment in the drama created by comments he made recently, comparing the president's policies to touching a tar baby. Lamborn apologized, of course, as we've reported, but that hasn't stopped the controversy. That's why his supporters are rallying outside his office right now. We spoke with his media spokesman who confirmed with 11 News the congressman would not be there today. That office also has no comment on the rally or the controversy. Well, the sound of shredding can be heard today in Pueblo. Right now, actually, it's let her rip for southern Colorado.
In fact, many of you are taking private personal documents to be shredded for free. It's sponsored by the Better Business Bureau of Southern Colorado, Mobile Record Shredders, and KKTV. Our 11 Call for Action reporter Betty Sexton there now. Betty, how's the turnout?
Well, John, let me tell you, they started showing up around 9:20 this morning.
That's great. Betty Sexton reporting live. And again, folks, this event goes until 2 o'clock today, so definitely take part.
Well, it's back to court for the man accused of shooting 2 people at a Springs AutoZone store. What's happening in that case today? Also, taking a look outside, a beautiful start to your weekend this Friday afternoon. Brandon's going to show us what's in store for the rest of your weekend.
And grab the kids. Mother Nature's about to put on a spectacular show just like this. What you need to know to check out tonight's meteor shower coming up on 11 News at noon. 6:33 now. We begin this half hour with a breaking news update. Brand new information just into our newsroom about what happens next with the Doherty gang.
11 News reporter Patrick Nelson live in the newsroom. Patrick, you just got off the phone with State Patrol. What'd you find out?
Well, John and Stacia, I just found out the 3 Doherty siblings will have to face a judge here in Colorado to find out about the charges they face before they go anywhere else. Now, this is...
Thanks so much, Patrick Nelson, live in the newsroom, really staying on top of this story for us. Thanks so much.
Let's talk about your weather now. Brandon, we're all looking ahead to the weekend, even though it's Thursday.
Well, yeah. I mean, I look forward to the weekend on Monday.
Monday, yeah.
Or Sunday evening.
2:30 in the morning when you wake up.
Exactly, yeah.
So much, Brandon. 6:36 now. Could the hunt for Osama bin Laden be the next big box office smash? That movie is in the works. We've talked about that, but it's really causing a lot of controversy.
Yeah, Congressman Peter King says he's concerned about this. He's demanding to know if the Obama administration is giving classified information to Sony Pictures and the movie's director, Catherine Bigelow.
The movie will focus on the 10-year hunt for bin Laden. It's set to be released just weeks before the 2012 elections. And we know she knows how to make a gritty movie because she directed The Hurt Locker, which won Best Picture at the Oscars. And, I mean, a lot of folks are expecting big things from this movie.
Yeah, I know they are. The White House says that Bigelow and anybody else is getting the same access to that information, so she's not getting special privileges.
We'll be following that. Right now, we want to talk about some European stocks that appear to be making a bit of a rebound this morning despite continuing debt concerns. Those worries led to big losses for bank shares yesterday. The French bank general has asked regulators to investigate the rumors that led to a 15% sell-off in its shares. Meanwhile, futures point to a higher open on Wall Street, which could be good news.
Also, police raids happening in London homes today as police investigate the riots, looting, and vandalism there. They're looking for anyone involved in those 4 days of violence. Officers say more than 100 warrants are being executed. Those riots, though, have spread to several British cities. Police have made 900 arrests in London alone.
6:37 now. New information. The Marines who went down in a jet like the one we've been talking about this morning that went missing, they found the Marines who were flying in that jet. They found them in the Pacific Ocean this morning, plucked from the ocean early today after an intense search and rescue mission. They were found hours after their jet went down. Again, you're looking at a website that kind of shows what that jet looks like because we still haven't received any video of the situation, obviously, because it's taking place over the Pacific Ocean. But again, good news. The Marines who were in the jet like that one, they have been found. They're in a local hospital now and in stable condition. The ex-Marine convicted of murdering 11 women and burying their bodies at his home in Ohio has been sentenced to death. Anthony Sobel showed zero emotion as he learned the jury's sentence. Jurors say he showed no remorse and even winked at them during the trial. A judge is expected to officially hand down the death sentence tomorrow.
The convicted thief known as the Barefoot Bandit has signed a $1.3 million movie deal with 20th Century Fox, but Colton Harris Moore won't see a dime of it.
That money's going to be used to help pay the minimum $1.4 million he owes in restitution to the victims of his 2-year-long crime spree. The 20-year-old gained international attention by stealing 5 planes, more than a dozen cars, several boats, broke into homes, businesses before his July 2010 arrest following a shootout in the Bahamas with authorities.
He faces up to 10 years in prison. He'll likely be sentenced coming up in October. Well, we now know what's next for the 3 siblings nabbed in a nationwide manhunt here in Colorado, if they'll face a judge here or first answer for their crimes out of state. That's coming up.